Hi everyone, Ali Hussein Kasim here, and this is our weekly roundup on tech news across Africa. Today I have 4 or 5 key interesting happenings across the tech world in Africa. The first one is, this didn't happen in Africa, but I can assure you this is going to be something that affects us going forward. Tech leaders in the US met with senior Senate leaders in Congress in the US. These tech leaders included academicians, top CEOs of big tech companies, engineers, investors, and the key issue that they were asking and they were discussing is how is the US government going to get involved to regulate artificial intelligence. Now, let me repeat this. This sounds a bit funny for entrepreneurs, executives, people in academia asking for intervention by a government to regulate artificial intelligence. Why? This is probably the first time I have had tech leaders being part of a consortium pushing for government intervention in artificial intelligence. Now, there are many theories around this. Theory number one is that some of these guys want to make sure that the barriers to entry when it comes to artificial intelligence become larger and more difficult for any startup founder and his grandmother to get into artificial intelligence. That's one theory. The other theory is, of course, as you can imagine, globally, there is an arms race towards artificial intelligence, towards capabilities related to artificial intelligence. And these capabilities are mainly focused on military applications. This is getting everybody worried because I'm sure all of you had, or if you didn't, there was a story a couple of months ago about a simulation by the American Air Force where an AI was on the controls of a drone and the AI overrode human instructions and went in for the kill, even when human instructions said stop. So obviously there are clear ethical issues around artificial intelligence. There are many other theories, but suffices to say, I think one of the key issues here is everybody's coming to the realization that artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword. Can be used for great good, can also be used for great evil. So where I sit, not a bad idea. The Americans, though, need to possibly look at what the European Union has already done when it comes to artificial intelligence. This is not something that has been happening in Africa. We seem to be just consumers of artificial intelligence, but this is something that our leaders and our leaders in government, our tech leaders, need to start paying a lot of attention to. The other story is around Nigeria's conversation and report around how additional economic output has been unlocked to the tune of $3.2 billion because of the development and utilization of electronic payments. But here's one key statistic that you want to take home today. By 2023, this time, Nigeria has 100 million active mobile users. Let's step back one bit here and interrogate that number for 1 minute. 100 million active users. Remember one thing, Nigeria has been a laggard when it comes to mobile payments, mobile money usage. But within hardly 3 years since the Central Bank of Nigeria released their regulations and the first payment service providers who are really basically mobile money operators in Nigeria, the Airtels, the MTNs in Nigeria and the other telco companies, plus pure play fintechs who have been in the space of mobile money. In a span of 3 years, Nigeria has now 100 million users. Let's come back to my home country. Kenya has been a major player in mobile money for close to 13 plus years. Our total users, 40 million odd. I'll leave my thoughts with you to start appreciating and understanding the potential of the Nigerian market when it comes to mobile money. Those are very interesting conversations to have, because deliberately the Central Bank of Nigeria has taken a very conservative approach towards mobile money. To a large extent, informed by the activities in Kenya when it comes to mobile money. Simply put, in Kenya today, we have a situation where mobile money is pervasive. Everybody uses mobile money. It's a given. However, we have a situation of potential systemic risk, because one major mobile money player controls 98.5% of the market. The Central Bank of Nigeria has looked at this space and said, yes, we want to encourage mobile money, but we do not want the situation where the success becomes also a potential risk area. It will be interesting to see how the mobile money ecosystem and infrastructure develops in Nigeria over the next couple of years. So let's keep it here. We'll be following this story very closely. The other interesting story also did not happen in Africa, but the implications and the potential overflow of that issue that has happened in New York a couple of days or weeks ago has potential overflow into how tech is perceived across the African continent. And in this particular case, I'm talking about the New York City government's crackdown on Airbnb, the licensing of or the regulation of Airbnb service providers, which has seen a nosedive of Airbnb listings in New York in the last couple of months of more than 70%. This reminds me of the position of the Central Bank of Kenya maybe 2-3 years ago, the position they took on digital lenders, and the position that has seen a tremendous impact on how digital lenders operate in Kenya. On one hand, digital lenders were caught smack in the middle of the Central Bank of Kenya and Google, where Google Play Store just simply told digital lenders, unless you show us proof of licensing from the Central Bank of Kenya and in Nigeria, we are pulling down your app. You see how regulation is playing a critical role in tech going forward. Increasingly, one of the most important skill sets for tech founders, not just in Africa, across the world, will be policy and regulatory. Let me repeat this: policy and regulatory response. This has been something that I have been extremely consistent with over the last couple of years. Let me repeat this, guy. It's all great to have great products. It's all great to have great tech smarts. But among your teams, you must have a team or a team leader who understands how to navigate the policy and regulatory space. It is very critical, guys, because one way or another, how the regulatory and policy landscape evolves in Africa is going to have a humongous impact. Already is having a humongous impact in the African continent. I mean, needless to say, one of the most important examples for me to continue repeating is the fact that the largest in market cap or market valuation, the largest fintech in Africa today is still not allowed to operate in Kenya. Need I say more? The last story I want to sort of highlight today is Egyptian Fintech Yalla that has now expanded its services into Saudi Arabia. Yalla has raised quite a chunk full of money over the last couple of years, one of the most prominent Egyptian fintechs. And its move into Saudi Arabia is not necessarily a big surprise. Remember that the Arab-speaking African countries, the ones that are loosely sort of referred to as the Maghreb, this starts with the Sudan, Egypt, Libya, to some extent Niger, Tunisia, Algeria. All these African countries, even though they're African, they have strong cultural connections to the Middle East. In fact, there's a term that they are known for. They are known by MENA, Middle East, North Africa. So it will be interesting to see how Yalla and other Northern African fintechs start engaging and growing in the Middle East region. That's it, guys, for our weekly roundup today. Looking forward to more conversations. This is Ali Hussein, and thank you for watching and listening. Asanteni sana.